Feel like got an opportunity gone to finally beat Auckland with the two red cards?
Yeah, I actually thought the red cards ruined the game, to be fair. First red card, I can't even remember the time.
Oh, yeah,
51. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So, still, yeah, significant amount of time, for us to break him down. And then when Logan got sent off, it just basically became like, a low block, all them defending and the box. I just felt we were a little bit indisciplined and could have capitalised on a lot more opportunities. I felt like cleaner opportunities. But again, disappointed we didn't get something out of that game.
Because when this game starts, you're hoping for a promising start.
Yeah.
7 seconds or more, so they score.
Yeah.
How much of a blow was that to your plans? How much did that deflate the team?
I don't think it deflated the team because they bounced back pretty well and they got back into the game straight away. I think I said it to someone today. Sometimes it's almost like the goal wakes us up, and it felt like that today. And as it took a great goal, 1-1. But then the second goal for me was also another lapse in timing and understanding of when we need to protect the offside line and stepping up. And I just felt there was some eagerness from players and just stepping out the wrong time. So I was very disappointed. It felt like we actually gave them the 2 goals.
Because obviously you're implementing this high line. Is there a danger when you come up against a fast player like Jesse Randall that they can hurt you the way that Auckland did? Like, how do you...
I think...
People will probably... you're playing this risky game and think,
I'd probably look at it this way. If we execute and the line gets beaten because our players are still in sync, and that's on me. But when we mis-execute or the players are going away from what we instruct, then it's more about correcting that in the long term. I said at the beginning of the season that no different to Perth and all the friendlies that we played, we're going to have teething issues with the line. It's going to take time, and I think one of the biggest issues we've had over the last, I don't even know how many games we've played, 4 games, is that I don't think I've had the same starting back 5, and that makes a big difference. And one player being out of sync can make a big difference to the line. So again, we're just going to go back. We've got 2 weeks now to get ready for MacArthur, and we're just going to have to work very hard at making sure that we're in sync, execute what we need to, and as time progresses, we'll get better and better.
How much of these derby defeats sort of weigh on you?
Honestly, they don't. I know it's for the fans and so on, and I mean, I don't want to lose. Last year was probably a little bit different of a feel because with obviously from the season that we had the year before, and them being a new club. But I don't come away from this game today thinking, we've got a rival that is way ahead of us. It's more about making sure that we can stick to our game plan, and I'm very confident that if we can keep doing what we're doing but do it consistently, that we'll get rewarded for that in the long term. And when we play them again, it's just about keeping that discipline and making sure that everyone's on the same page.
How delighted were you with Ize's goal? He's after conceding so early for him to just pull one out like that.
Yeah, I think it was great. Where I got a little bit more frustrated was the fact that they just probably put more focus on him after that, and it was just harder for him to get in the game. So he's a great talent. Great finish, and I felt he probably could have scored another goal.
With Finn going off at half-time, was that just due to his previous injury or anything? Was that...
No, it was more tactical. So I wanted to stretch their line a little bit more and make it a little bit harder for the defensive line, because I felt like they were stepping on quite well in the first half, and I needed someone just to open up the space. And I think it was literally the first action of the second half just showed that when he made that run and then we played a switch, that we could find the free play every time, and we couldn't do it over and over again. And then once the players got sent off, it just became a different game altogether.
The red cards, did you agree with the decisions?
The first one, I feel as though when you're one-on-one with the keeper, and if there's any sort of contact outside the box and the way the rules are stated, I think it's a red card because it stops him having a chance. And to be fair, I was actually really annoyed because I would have loved him to continue the chance, and I think Rami actually had a bite at that second ball. I would rather have us scored than the player sent off. The second one, I probably didn't see the where Logan puts his feet. I kind of think that the referee being in that position, he probably sees it the best. I'm not sure what the angles show, but Ben was very quick to give the red card, so I think he was convinced it was the red card.
Once Auckland are down to 9 men, what instructions do you give? Do you think you went about attacking them the right way after those red cards?
So we made a couple of subs to give us width and to give us some more players in the half space. But I felt as though we maybe played the situation too much and were just looking for Corbs and, Ezer and balls in behind when we could have just put the ball wide and get the ball in the box and then look for more cutbacks and second phase opportunities. But I think that sometimes, sometimes you don't expect these things, even though we train it quite a bit. And sometimes I think the players are immersed more in the moment than they are in actual what the logical thing to do is. That was a little bit frustrating, but I still think we had enough opportunity to equalise. But I felt as though the frequency could have been a lot better.
You said yesterday that what you wanted to see most was the attitude from the players. You said, even if you concede in the first minute, do you think you got that attitude that you want?
No, the players gave me 100%. There was no. I didn't come away from that game thinking that we weren't, giving our all, and I thought, the press was really good. After even conceding in the first minute, I think the boys, just stuck at it, and we won a lot of ball. It's just, I think sometimes that over eagerness and enthusiasm, and sometimes can filter more into playing the moment as opposed to being, all right, this is the game plan, this is what we need to execute. But no, the boys gave 100%.
And just a word on Danny, it's professional debut at
Yeah.
27. Pretty cool story.
Yeah, cool. I actually thought he was pretty good when he came on. He was pretty composed and is a good kid, works hard. I played him on the right side because I wanted him to do, I wanted him to switch to the opposite side with finding Carlo, and took it on board, and I'm really happy for him. He deserves it. I was trying to get him on last week, and for whatever reason couldn't come on. So, yeah.
Enjoy your drive around Wellington today?
It was fun. It was nice to give out some tickets and good opportunity to see some fans. We've got a lot of good supporters here. Fortunately, there's too many events on today. I don't even know what you call the festival. I saw it. That was pretty busy, and but there were people around, but there was just a nice buzz because the derby was on as well. I got a nice song from the Port as well, Port fans on the when I was walking through town, and that was nice. But yeah, no, it was good to give out those tickets. I might do it more often.
And I know this wasn't the ideal result, but what was it like just coaching in this derby? It felt like, despite it not being as big of a crowd as last time, it felt like this was a proper derby, the big cards. The on-field drama, fans at both ends. I mean, does this feel like this derby has sort of arrived now and it's like a cool part of New Zealand sport?
Yeah, I think it's important for the landscape. I think coaching in it, I probably have a weird mindset. I'm not one that plays the actual game, because I'm always constantly thinking about how to improve things, and maybe that's where my frustration is. Sometimes in these derbies, you play the moment as opposed to just playing the game. But no, it feels good. I think we're desperate to make sure that we change the results, especially in these derbies. But again, it doesn't make the season. I think it's very important that we realise this is just another 3-point game. next week or 2 weeks from now, Macarthur's probably the most important thing, and then after that, play Adelaide. But I'm buoyed by the fact that, you know, that's probably our first defeat in a while, and probably on a better day we could get a better result.
Thank you, Chief.
All good.